Hey, what's going on, guys? Today I'm going to talk about what it's realistically going to take to get this car into the nines. Yes, I really want to do it NA, but there's some things that I'm going to talk about in this video of why I don't think that's actually possible without spending more money than what I initially thought. Welcome to Race Cars. My number one big issue since I started going with high RPM has to be second gear. For whatever reason, I'm not real sure. I do know that there is actually an issue with second gear on the 16 to 18 cars. This just unfortunately has to be an 18. That like the synchros are weak or the blocker ring or however that goes. Because I've never really been inside a transmission, so to me this is all foreign. This is way more foreign than building a motor. So I really don't know what to expect when it comes to that. So that's kind of where we're at with that. I know that it's going to have to be done if it's either through me or through, say, TIC Performance or Texas Driveline Performance. I've talked to two of my friends that have actually recently done their transmissions, one being a T56, which the 6060 is basically a 56 in a OEM housing. So I'd be really confident in that guy helping me or other people that have really just rebuilt transmissions throughout the years. They say that if you really are only replacing what I need to be replaced, it's not difficult. That gives me a lot of confidence when it comes to the wintertime and clean out an area and completely tear it apart and clean it and everything like that. But that right there ruins 85% of my passes. I say 85% because 50% of the time I no lift shift. It lets me in, it doesn't let me in, whatever. But no lift shifting is the only way to really keep the momentum going between first and second gear. My best 330 time has been a 4.46. But I've done multiple 1.5 60 foots, lift shifted into second, and they're like 4.6, 4.7, which that right away takes me completely out of the ballpark of where I need to be. Honestly, I'd like to see a high 4.2, low 4.3 to be able to really carry that momentum out, which is something this car has never done. And rolling right into that, talking about 60 foot in the first 330 feet, suspension. This has Viking double adjustable shocks in the rear, but an Eibach 1LE drag spring kit. I'm not going to talk bad on the springs, but I don't think that they've really lived up to what they need to be, unfortunately. So one of the biggest things that I want to do as well is Keltrack suspension, which is another $3,300 before tax. I would confidently say that being able to control my front rise, which has been a major issue. Every time I look at a video, this car goes straight up before it even goes out, which looking at drag racing and launch efficiency, that's really not good. I'd rather see it rise and hit full extension about 20, 30 feet out, if all possible, which I can't slow down the front at all. So that's one of the frustrating things. Number 3 would be bumping compression. The cheap way to do it is to run the thinnest gasket available from Cometic, which is a 28 thousandths gasket. Right now I have the stock 52 on it. That would give me about a point of compression bump. Right now, this car is only at 12.3 to 1. It would get me right about 13.3, which would actually put me right above where the cam threshold for efficiency is, because GPI right on their website says it likes 12.5 to 1. I'm below that, not by much, but I'm still below it. So it's not going to be that efficient. And I'm actually surprised that it ran what it did, now kicking myself in the butt of how it actually is operating. Number 4, again, something I've talked about for a while, porting the old high ram. I think that plus the gaskets alone would probably add me anywhere between 20 and 40. I really don't have an exact number, but I do know that both of them are going to be a positive gain from at least the mid-range up. So that's a plus. Really thinking about if I ran a 10.3 with a 1.6 460 foot. So it really wasn't even a good launch. If I even just did the 1.5 now, it would probably put me at a 10.0 or a 10.1. But I would like to say that it is capable now, but it's going to take a unicorn pass. What this video is going to be is what it can run in fair weather, say 2000 DA or below. Last year, it ran 10.8s. This year, it's ran 10.3 once, then a ton of 10.6s. So it's there. I'm thoroughly happy with that. Honestly, it did pick up a pretty good amount, but what would it take this to be a majority low 10, high 9 second car is something that I talked about really early on in the YouTube channel, but something that I've kind of strayed away from because the price is just outrageous. What I'm talking about are the CID heads. What I really want to do with that is not only get those, but really push the compression to be about 14:1. I think that on a hydraulic roller cam with the Johnson lifters and everything like that is about the highest I would go before I really soil the tuning window, the drivability, and the relaxing, just get in and drive it part of this car, which honestly I love. I've put 3,000 or 4,000 miles on this car, and it's only July. It's honestly been a solid car this year, and I'm very happy about that. It's been to Norwalk, it's been to National Trail, which both of those are about 2 hours away from me. Buckeye Skips this thing just did a 5.5 hour drive day from, by the time I was at Thompson, which add another hour to that, from my house. So really, this car has been a very proven car, and I don't want to lose that. I think going above 14:1 would be where I start to lose the get in and go aspect. Number one, the heads. $5,000 after tax, after shipping, after everything. That would be with new valves and stuff too. So I understand that. I mean, the heads themselves are what, $3,700, $3,800. So I completely understand that. But again, it's not just the heads, it's adding everything else to it. So heads, $4,700. Keltrex suspension, $3,500. Sending my transmission out to get rebuilt if I don't do it myself, $3,500. It's this close, but in reality, it's very far financially. And honestly, that's frustrating because I had just seen something come up on Facebook Marketplace that I sent to Sean earlier today. And I'm like, dude, this would be killer. I found a Huron Speed twin turbo kit for $6,500, 4 hours away. And I would really like to say that this car would stay NA for the rest of its life. But seeing how stupid fast just simple turbo kits go really is putting me to think that all I need to do, if I'm pulling the transmission out, the motor's right there. Pull it out, gap the rings, get a new set of rings, and gap them, put the Huron Speed twin turbo kit on it. Wouldn't have to worry about bumping compression. I can actually run a thicker gasket, get the compression ratio right at 12:1, which I think would be perfect. And then get the LT4 stuff, get the aux-jection through Wisher Performance. Even though it would be going through the high ram, I think it would still be fine because I could go back to a 103 throttle body, which I conveniently still have 2 of. I really think that to max out the LT4 fuel system with the Wisher Performance stuff, car would see 900 horsepower for under 10 grand. And that would not eliminate the need for suspension. It would probably actually increase the need for it, but I wouldn't have to be so perfect down track. And that's one thing that the more I look at it, I don't have the the big pockets that these NA guys do to even be nearly competitive. To be one of under 5, I'm pretty sure, NA stick cars to run a 9 would be incredible for a guy building it in their dad's garage. But at the same time, looking at everything, how cool would it be to have a twin turbo version of your dream car? I mean, it has the motor for it. It's a 415 stroker. It's there. I'd really have to change to a turbo cam, which, whatever. I'd make the drivability easier because the overlap isn't so aggressive. It's a lot to think about. I don't want to lose my identity of being a guy pushing for 9's NA, but it is very, very extremely tempting to go pick that up. I'm not going to lie to you guys. A set of rings for this motor costs $100. And if the transmission's already going to be out, the motor is literally just here. I would rather pull the motor and just drop the transmission like that versus pulling the transmission and leaving the motor in place, because that wasn't very fun when I did that last year before YouTube. Something to think about. I'd actually really like to see your guys' input on what you guys would say. Would you rather see me just run a 9 or hopefully a deep 9 if I go twin turbo? Or do you guys really want to see me deep dive, stay NA, and push to be one of the only manual stick cars in the 9's? I think it would be really cool to do that, but as 4500 DA quickly humbled me saying, brother, you can't even run a 10, that also kind of frustrates me. But whatever. With everything going on right now, I don't think content's going to take a dip. Because, I mean, I think the velocity stack thing was very cool. I really think that it's cool. Here's the finished product on it, by the way. It now has like a matte finish to it, and definitely doesn't look bad. Definitely better than the aluminum. Plus, that's a heat-resistant paint, so that's exactly what it needs. Like, once you hit in the atmosphere of boosted, it gets a lot simpler to run the times that you want to run. Especially now with the Wisher Performance aux-jection. If it could literally just sit right there and just be basically the port injection system for this car, even with the high ram, to make 1,000 horsepower, I honestly feel like it would be a no-brainer to leave this exactly how it is, put the twin turbos on it and just gap the rings a little different and send it. This motor's proven. I do believe it has almost 8,000 miles on it now, and the other two that had a catastrophic failure only lasted 1,000, less than 1,000. So I would say that on the built side of it, it's good, which is where the confidence of twin turbos would do this car very well, that I really enjoy. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. I really think that the twin turbo idea is pressing, which is kind of why I brought it up in this video, but it's going to be mostly about the harsh reality of what it's going to take me to run a 9. Another $10,000 at least, which is basically just chassis work, fixing something that's broken, that's really ruining all my passes, and like 40 horsepower. Well, if you add the heads, it's going to be more like 60 to 70, but whatever. If I'm going to buy the heads, I'd rather buy twin turbos. I'm not going to lie to you. I got all winter, eventually, you know, in another few months, I got all winter to really figure out what I need to do. But in the meantime, guys, I think I'm going to be buying a new set of street tires. If you look at these puppies, I have no idea what happened to them. It's not like I did a big burnout or anything. But I'm contemplating what tires I'm going to get. I'm really leaning towards the Nitto NT555 G2s on the front and R2s on the rear. A bunch of my race car friends have them, and they get about 10,000 miles out of them. So even if I'm hauling a little drag and drive trailer, the 1 or 2 times I do it a year, that would be really convenient. And especially if the tongue weight's going to be like 200 pounds, it's really not going to be anything. So I think I'm going to go with that, especially because I got like $400 in Summit bucks I need to use. I don't want to talk about it. But yeah, guys, I really hope that this enlightens some of you of what I think it's going to take. It doesn't need all of it, but to do it consistently, it's going to. I feel like these front shocks are very inconsistent, and it depends on temperature and just how they feel that day of what they're actually doing, because sometimes they work, sometimes they're as stiff as a rock, but that's what you get with the stock Magna Ride stuff. But really, again, looking at my pass, if I did a 150 instead of a 164, I mean, that's over a quarter of a second, which would put me at like 10-1, which I still don't have it. I would really need to get into the 1.4s, which was why we talk about suspension. But anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this video. I really appreciate you guys taking your time out of your day to watch me ramble about staying NA or going twin turbos. Anyways, guys, I appreciate you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.